Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker. Thanks so much for joining us. However, you may be joining us, we appreciate it. We're always glad to welcome into the program Trooper Ross Brennan. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Louisiana State Police Troop C, Public Information Officer, always has great information for us. But our goal this year is the zero for December. But let's talk about how well we've done now and maybe some of the statistics over the last year or so.
Yeah. So last year in 2021, for the holiday season between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve, there was actually 94 people killed on our roadways and 4,600 people injured in car crashes. Unfortunately, 11 of those fatalities happened in the Troop C area. If you remember, some of them were kind of high profile, especially those 5 Nichols students that tragically lost their lives. So, I guess a reaction to all those fatal crashes that we had last year, Captain Bajoran has implemented what we're calling Operation Zero for the holidays.
Okay.
Where our goal is to be 0 deaths this holiday season. So we started it right before Thanksgiving holiday, and in fact, out of all the surrounding troops in our area, we had no fatals in our Troop C area. All the other troops had at least a fatal crash. We also arrested 29 drunk drivers too since right before Thanksgiving. So we definitely got extra troopers out there. What they're doing is they're doing targeted enforcement, looking for impaired drivers primarily, but also reckless and distracted drivers, because those are just as dangerous sometimes as an impaired driver.
Yeah, it's just awfully important. And I love the fact that we implement some of these programs and we see that they work.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So that extra vigilance out there, and look, no fatalities compared to everywhere else. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. And it shows that what we're doing is it's working, one, the enforcement, but also the education, trying to get that word out. And that's partly what I'm here today to talk about.
Okay.
So some ways that we're going to be able to tackle this goal is that we're going to have, like I said, additional enforcement, but it's going to be in specific areas, kind of the high prone crash areas.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually see more troopers are going to be on in Assumption Parish on Highway 70 and Highway 308, Highway 3127 in St. John and St. James Parish, Highway 90 and Highway 308 in Central Lafourche,
Okay.
Highway 1 in South Lafourche, so going down to Fouchon and such, and also Highway 90 in Terrebonne. What we did is we looked at our data, and those were kind of our high-prone crash areas that a lot of these fatals happen.
I love the idea, and just being able to be out there and quick to respond, close by, and just knowing the demographics, if you will, of where some of these problem areas are.
Yeah.
That's how we use statistics to reduce statistics.
That's a good thing about technology, is that we're able to actually see where they are happening, more like said, the hot spots. And so that's our goal, is to be in these hot spots to help prevent a crash from even occurring. Maybe just our presence out there and people knowing that we're going to be out there, they're going to be, hey, I need a sober driver to get me home, or I'm not going to text and drive, or I'm not going to speed. So maybe that thought of us being out there, we're hopefully to prevent some of these bad choices from occurring.
Yeah, and one of those other things that really helps those of us who are drivers, whether we're driving impaired or whether we're distracted or not, seeing those lights and seeing that presence, thinking, okay, it's a reminder. It's an active reminder to stay focused, be it 10 and 2, because there are other people that are distracted. And, like a lot of these people that lose their lives has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
It's because someone else has either been drinking or, and the zero tolerance really makes a difference for us.
And in all those crashes, one of the drivers had to make a choice, right? Whether it may be failure to yield, or looking down at a text, or choosing to get behind the wheel impaired. So all these crashes probably could have been prevented if somebody would have made a better choice. And so while we're out there trying to do our part, we also need help from the public to make those good choices, like I said. So if you plan to consume any type of alcohol or drugs, especially all these holiday parties coming up, please have a sober person to get you home. Have a designated driver to get you back home at the end of the night, and have that plan beforehand, before you even leave the house. That way at the end of the night, you're not trying to figure out what you're going to do. Also, leave early. If you have a place to be at a place, don't wait till the last minute, because then you're trying to make up that time, trying to speed. And also, if there's a text or a phone call that you have to use your phone and look away from the road, just put it on the side. Wait till you're parked up somewhere or get to your destination to mess with that. Also, if you're driving on the roadway and you see somebody who is driving reckless, distracted, or maybe impaired, you can always call star 577 or dial star LSP, and I'll get you in touch with the nearest state police trooper, and we'll hopefully have a trooper get out there fairly quickly.
Well, one of those things that's kind of interesting. I'm with a new company. I've never had it's the first holiday party that I have with them. And one of the things they were talking about is they have a good time. I offered myself, I said, I will come and pick you up, drop you off at the party. I will stay there and I will bring you home.
Yeah.
So I've got 6 of them.
Yeah.
And we can fit 6 in my vehicle. So I have got 6 of them that I'm bringing to the party and bringing back home.
Yeah.
That's just the right way to do it. Making a plan ahead of time. Like you're
And it's
suggesting.
simple. I mean, even if you got a group of friends, draw straws, or have a rotation. Hey, look, I
Right.
got you out tonight. It's not really hard, or it's
No.
not difficult, but there's always something you can do to, like, again, to prevent these crashes.
Right.
But a little bit more numbers. So last
Okay.
year in 2021, at the total for the year, we actually worked 39 fatal crashes, resulting in 52 deaths in our Troop C area. So
Okay.
far in 2022, we're at 44 fatal crashes, resulting in 48 deaths. So we definitely don't want to go higher than last
No,
year.
no.
And
We always want to be getting better, right?
Exactly.
And
So we just want everybody to go make those good choices. That way we get that 0 for the holidays. And Captain Badgeron, what he actually told the troopers is go out there and patrol like that's your loved ones that could possibly be affected. So, I mean, he's experienced loss himself. He lost
Right.
a child too.
Child, right.
So we got skin in the game. We want to do it not only for the public, but also for our own families too.
Right. And y'all treat everybody like their family, which
Exactly.
is really, really nice. The other thing you can always do is if you've got adult children, put them on standby.
Yeah.
As long as good drivers, or if you've got a family member, know that you can call someone and don't get in a vehicle with someone that you know that's been
Exactly.
drinking.
That's
We
just
make
as
a good
dangerous.
decision ourselves, right?
Yep.
Because we don't want to put our lives in somebody else's hands.
Exactly.
Troop, if you don't mind sticking around, I got some other good news to talk about.
Yes, sir.
And so we'll do that when we come back from the break, if that's okay.
It's good.
And you don't go anywhere either. We'll be right back talking with Troop C about some of the good things happening in our community. Don't go anywhere.